Welcome to Jollof and Fiction, home of African literature and stories, the kind that warm your heart like a fresh pot of jollof. Today, you're tuning into a recorded session of our online book discussion, so sit back, relax, and join the conversation.
Welcome to 2026. My name is Barnabas and I'm your host for tonight. It's so good to be back, really. It feels like a breath of fresh air. And I think it's almost timely considering that a lot of us are just recovering from the AFCON semi-finals. So I was really looking forward to this meeting and I'm really glad to have you here. And it's such an honor to be a host and to do this one more time with you guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And so the thing for this discussion is Old Nollywood Raised Us, and it's centered on the piece written by Tomilola Adejumo. It's published on Substack last year, as at May. So if you're listening to this, the piece is available on Substack. Just search for the Thought Archive or search for the writer Tomilola Adejumo. Now there are several things, several questions and several comments I got with regards to this theme. So basically, before I start, I just want to do a quick rundown of our discussion. The theme for our discussion, it's Old Nollywood, and I'll just read what I have here. Old Nollywood, the industry peaked in the mid-2000s, becoming the world's second largest film producer by volume, behind only India, that's Bollywood, releasing nearly 200 films monthly. So this was mid-2000s and was mostly distributed through local markets like the Alaba International Market in Lagos. I know a lot of us know Alaba Market, Idumota, Lagos. Their adverts, I still remember those adverts. Alaba Market, Idumota, Lagos, and some other Pan Road, Aba, something 43 Pan Road, Aba. It's mostly in the adverts. I remember all these things. And then we have notable classics like Karashika that was released in 1998. So some of the Gen Zs that were born, I think Gen Z starts officially from 97. So even those who were born 2097, they probably must have watched Karashika. Diamond Ring 1998, Witches 1998, Igodo 1999, The Last Burial 2000. These are classics that movies that were made in that time and are considered classics. Although this Karashika was made before, but from 2000, the number of production increased. So like I said, films monthly, that's Nollywood, and it said we're the second largest behind Bollywood. That means Bollywood, they were doing a lot during that period. That was the first question. We had a form sent out, and then we people sent in questions, and so I'll be reading the question, and because a lot of the questions had similar themes, I had to pair them 1A and 1B, and in between I'll be reading comments that way that people dropped through the form. So just stay with me. First question: what core characteristics of storytelling do you think has been lost in the transition between old Nollywood and new Nollywood? Why do you think it's vanished? So that's the first question. And it's like I said, some questions had similar themes, so I just had to pay it. So this is the B part. Old Nollywood is described as chaotic but memorable. How does it compare to modern Nollywood films in storytelling, production, and impact? So the first question is, what core characteristics of storytelling do you think has been lost in transition between old Nollywood and new Nollywood? Why do you think it vanished? I have thoughts to share, but I don't know if you have anything. If anyone has anything to say, just indicate with a raise of hand and I'll call you to speak. But first, I'd like to share my thoughts on this. What core characteristics of storytelling do you think has been lost in the transition between old Nollywood and new Nollywood? I think, in a sense, we won't say that some characters have been lost, but some have been improved on. Do you understand? I think there was a time I had a session like that with some people. We're discussing old Nollywood actors, and a lot of times some of the scripts, the iconic movies now, films now, some of them were spontaneous. The script was spontaneous. We have people like Nkemo or Sophia, who I think I heard that a lot of times they were just put in a scene and asked to act without a script. So, and from their head, some of the things they said were not scripted. They just had to say that from there. But I believe it has evolved since that time in a much what's the word for it? Some of these elements, characteristics of old Nollywood has evolved. I wouldn't say they've been lost. They've evolved. They've gotten better. Do you understand? So I'd like to hear from someone. Okay, promise. Yeah, promise is.
Okay, so I just want to answer the first one of what. Sorry. The first question of what I think has been lost so far. And I think what has been lost is the authenticity of owning a script, of being so in tune with the script, so in-depthly involved in the character being played that you feel like that person is that character, really. So I miss when those days when we had Patience Ozoko and I thought that she was genuinely a wicked person, or I was scared of Kanayo because I thought, he was going to use me for ritual. But now these days, I know an actor is acting. I know they are performing a script, and I don't like the fact that I know that they are acting. I want to be so soaked into that character that I feel like, this is real to me. And I think that's what has been lost in current Nollywood. Yes. Thank you.
Okay, so your concern is the authenticity. You said it's been lost in the transition from old Nollywood to new Nollywood. I have some thoughts to share, but then after Abdul Divine, go ahead and speak.
So what I think is different. Well, it's not really. I don't know how to explain it, but you guys should follow me. Old Nollywood is a direct descendant, or maybe the brainchild of stage play. Like, stage play used to be very popular in Nigeria back then. So it's sort of like they took what they were doing on the stage, which is why they usually have minimal locations and stuff, and they just started filming it in a way, which is also why you notice like the cameras are usually very static, not dynamic. All you get is, like the writer said, you just zoom in, zoom out, that kind of nonsense. So I think from stage play to filming the stories you're getting, then it's now became a little more industrialized in a way. So you have this chronic, you have script writers, you have film editors, you have this so many people working on a movie, because I know the budgets of these movies have gone up a lot considerably from back when Tomilola Adejumo and his mates would make like 40 movies in 1 year or something. So okay,
thank you. I don't think I saw it from that perspective, because I'm aware that the Nigerians at the time, old Nigerians at the time, they were involved in stage plays. I think there were some stage plays that were even recorded, and we watched them while growing up. So I can relate to what you made reference to, stage plays. So thank you very much, Abdul. Divine, let me hear from you.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Happy New Year. When I think of old Nollywood and the storytelling of that time compared to new Nollywood, I think of how the storytelling in old Nollywood was more about morality. Most of the movies that were made during that time they were all geared towards morality, rituals. Some of them were made for children. Don't eat something that a stranger gives to you. Don't get into a stranger's car. Or about young ladies when choosing life partners, with our popular Patience Ozoko. And don't marry a poor man, and then at the end of the movie we would see what will happen when someone chooses money over character and all that. But new Nollywood storytelling has kind of shifted from that perspective of morality. So although we still have a few filmmakers that still try to
imbibe morality in their storytelling, but it's not so much like that. Personally, I don't think it's as much as it was. In old Nollywood, you're watching a movie to learn something, but new Nollywood is vibes and
Vibes.
so yeah, that's what I second.
Okay, yeah, continue. Go ahead. Just go ahead.
All right. Secondly, I think that one very big difference between old Nollywood and new Nollywood is how in old Nollywood we had something closer. I don't know how to explain it. Closer to home. It felt more realistic. Something you can relate with. But new Nollywood, like I said, is the things that even in old Nollywood there were things that couldn't happen, because that would be tell me that I should go and dance and my prince will select maidens. But then it still felt relatable. I don't know if that's how I mean. But new Nollywood has they're trying to portray this I don't know how to explain it. They're trying to portray for example, for Lagos, all these Lagos movies, the poise, elegance of Lagos ladies and all that. It's not really far-fetched, but these are not things that we really see in our society every day compared to most of the movies that were made in old Nollywood. Thank you, Navas.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Since we've already dwelled on this question, the next question is for Anita. So after Anita, Ini Brown, who else is on this call? Johnson, Etini. Yes, so I'll hear from you guys. But first, in that order, Anita, then Ini Brown, Johnson, and Etini. So yeah, let me read a few comments. Someone said it was such a nostalgic piece. I love it. Another said the piece was a nice read. The article reminded me of one time I was a child. There was this drama that everyone talked about at that time, Queen of Darkness. I watched that in my neighbor's house. I was there till midnight. Okay, I never watched Queen of Darkness, but I don't know. Maybe there are people here who watched it. So, second question now. Do you think old Nollywood directors believe? Sorry, I want to make sense of the question first. Something about old Nollywood directors often working with stereotypes. I mean, anytime Peter Edochie is in a movie, he's either the king or nothing else. Yes, when I saw this question, something came to mind, because I personally, I did not like the way old Nollywood films portrayed people from my place, Akwa Ibom. So you see someone from Akwa Ibom, he's either named Okon or Akpan. Those were the two names, and he's either a gate man or a security. Do you understand? And at the time, it was just that if you would see it every time, there's always an Akpan or Okon. He's a security. If they just want to cast someone as a security officer, even though he's not from Akwa Ibom, he would just cast for the role and they'll name him Akpan. So I didn't like it. They did that with this guy, Uzo, the guy who acted Love in Every Word. I noticed that films after that film, people were trying to cast him for that same role. Do you get? In a way, it's good because you feel, okay, this is his niche, this is what he's good at, so this is the kind of role that fits him. But it limits the actor in a way, because he probably has range for more, but then because you always, whenever you want to think of someone wicked, Patience also comes to mind, and then you reach out to her and cast her for that role. I'm just saying that because I also remember that there was this interview, Lupita Nyong'o mentioned that, a lot of you may know Lupita Nyong'o, she acted 12 Years a Slave. She said after that movie, we kept reaching out to her for the role to cast her as a black slave. And she said she had to consciously say no to those offers because she doesn't want it to seem as though that's all she has to offer, a black slave. But I feel like old Nollywood, they didn't mind, they did not care. Jonathan, you can play the same role in different movies. Wicked Stepmother, different. You are playing the same role, so much so that we see in real life, and you are not wicked, and we are surprised. We are annoyed that you're not wicked. Do you understand? The same thing with Patience also cool. So please let me hear your thoughts on that particular thing. Anita first, then Ini Brown. Then I'll now address those whose hands are raised. Thank you very much. Anita, you can go ahead and speak.
Okay. Hi, Nabas. Good evening. Happy New Year. Okay, so I feel like old Nollywood did play into stereotypes, but I feel like they may have at some point been doing it to their advantage. I mean, a lot of us grew up on old Nollywood movies and we know all these stereotypes. And at some point, you can basically predict the plot. You know what's going to happen when you hear the music, you know what's going to happen when you see this specific character. And they knew this as well. So, what if they were leaning into that? It wasn't necessarily, oh, let's try and surprise these people, but let's comfort them with the familiar. There is some sort of comfort to be found in stories that tell you that, okay, this is the good guy, this is the bad guy. Bad things are happening right now, and we know that this person is going to like triumph in the end or whatever. So I feel like those stereotypes they were concerning sometimes because like we started believing these people are these things in real life, but they are also comforting because you know that if you tune into this movie and you see this character, you know what to expect. There are no surprises. Quote unquote, there are no surprises. So these stereotypes were helpful in that way. Yeah, that's my thoughts on old Nollywood stereotypes. So there's a bad part, but I think that the good part was the whole comfort thing that they provided. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Anita. Personally, I don't even think there was really a good part to stereotyping actors to put. Or if you feel there was a good part, then no problem. Inibra, let me hear from you.
Awesome. Okay, so um personally I believe that stereotyping, yes, exists. It existed very well in old Nollywood, but it still exists in new Nollywood. So it's not as if that has gone away. If you watch new Nollywood now, it's still the same thing that happens. I don't know the name of these new actors, to be very honest, but it's always the same thing. You go on YouTube, it's always, oh, and the madam falls in love with one particular good looking boy that is the cook or the gatesman or what. It's very predictable and whatever. But that has always been an issue in almost all movie industries. So actors that don't end up being stereotyped are actors that make the effort not to. Otherwise, yeah, most likely going to fall into a stereotype. So I feel like that's just human nature. If somebody is good at acting in a particular way, people tend to want you to do the same thing again and again. It's just like social media. They tell you, if you're doing social media, they tell you they don't want you to do anything different. Just do it again in a slightly different way, but just do the same thing again. Nobody wants you to go different. We came to watch Tom Cruise
Exactly.
to do what Tom Cruise does, jump off a plane. We came to watch Keanu Reeves do what Keanu Reeves does, and we came to watch Patience be the evil stepmother who has put juju inside the food. We came for these things. This is why we're here. So it happens everywhere. It's just okay. If you make the difference, if you make the like you make the effort to say, okay, I want to be different. Like if you see some Ramsey Noah movies where he tries to be different, it's always awkward. We know what you are here for. Jim Ike, we know why you are here. Desmond Elliott, we know why you are here. Just do what you came here to do so that we are happy. So that's just how it is. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, New Brown. I said I would hear from. Sorry if your hands are raised. I just want to hear from people that don't speak often. Etini, yes, please go.
Good evening. What else do I want to say? The stereotype is really how they sell in Hollywood. I don't want to. If I'm seeing the meaning in a movie, I already know that this is what's going to happen. I don't want a new character. I just want to keep seeing that same person. If I want something new, I'll go for another character. So once I see an Igbo person in a movie or Hausa person, and I can just tell that okay, this Hausa man is going to be the whatever it is. I think I like it like that. You can call it stereotypes, but I just like it like that. Old Yoruba movies, I know if I see maybe Madame Saje or this Shola Shobowale, I know what to expect, and I think they know it too, and they just want to keep up. They don't want, if you give me something new,
people love Timini and Bimbo because of the, let's say, the chemistry they have. If they give them something new, they might not just sell anymore. You call it stereotype, but I think I'll just call it that's just their strategy, and I like it. There's no much difference with how they did. I wouldn't have believed that Patient Ozoko was not a wicked person in real life. I liked it. If in a movie I see that Patient Ozoko is a good person, I'll feel disappointed. If I see Okon Lagos in a movie and he's a rich person, I'll feel disappointed. Not bad, but
No, thank you very much. Thank you. I think so. You're saying that this guy is just play directly into what people want, what he's selling. Then from hearing you talk now, I think maybe mine is just a unique desire to people do something different, because I often find it very beautiful if I see someone who acted as this in this particular movie is acting something different. I find it very touching and very beautiful to watch. Like, I want to see what's next. What are they going to do next? But I guess maybe not everyone shares my views or my interests. Let me read some comments and then I'll. Sorry, I'm not calling you. I'll come to you shortly, please. I'm seeing your comments. So, old Nollywood was far from bizarre. This was someone saying in a comment. Those stories put a camera to the internalized fears plaguing those who made the movies. Nigerians were and still are very worried about waging spiritual battles with enemies and cheating partners. To the citizens of a country where 24/7 electricity is still a myth and law enforcement is only for the rich, New York City is an utopia. Okay, that was a comment by someone. So, yeah, I like this question because it's the kind that prompts everyone to speak. Which old Nollywood actor or characters do you think are still iconic today and why? So I'll just call your name. You tell me. Just start thinking now. Which old Nollywood actor or character do you think is iconic to you today and why? So let me start from those whose hands are already raised. Mesoma, you can speak. After Mesoma, Divine, Abdul, and Inyobong.
Okay. Good evening, everybody, and Happy New Year. So I'm going to be dropping names. I'm sorry if you don't know all these people.
Sorry,
apologize
please,
in advance.
Mention three, because I have to go through everybody.
No, it's a lie. Man that grew up since it's a lie.
For something else, you speak. No, sorry, please. I just need. This is a question I'll just go from top to bottom. So don't worry, there's still time to speak for something else. Just list three. Thank you. Sorry.
I'm going to list KOK, Nani Sacrifice, Kanayo Okanayo, and Patience Ozoko, and even Inedo, right? Even though everybody knows Inedo as the hot campus babe that year, when she was in Sugar Daddy, you see that she still carried her hot campus babe and turned it into very fine sugar baby. You know, even the whole stereotype thing somehow even graduates as generation come and go. You know, from hot campus babe to hot sugar baby. Then we see Nice Sacrifice. Sorry. We see Kanayo. Then too he was into business. It was business, and then he had sacrifice. He added sacrifice to make his business prosper. And you see now, even in the movies of now, he's either training boys to be business people. That is, he's into apprentice work in business. The last movie I saw of him was Trouble in Lagos.
I just need to hear from others, please. Just briefly mention three and then just tell us briefly why. I'll still come to you like for other questions. I just want to hear everyone share their thoughts. So after you now is Divine, then Abdul. Just briefly, three. Sorry for cutting you short, Mesoma. I'm just trying to work with time. It's almost 9:30.
I have to mention three. Okay, I know two now. Chioma Chukwuka or Chioma Apoti or something. I've forgotten her new name. But that woman is iconic. She has been iconic. Her performance in what's the name of that movie? that Lagos slum movie was iconic. I love that woman so much. And then there's it came Osofia. He's good.
Sophia.
He's
Very
really
much.
very versatile. Yes, plays comedies very perfectly, and then serious roles plays them very well too. And maybe I'll go with Shona.
Thank you.
You said 3 now.
Okay.
2.
Sorry,
I didn't say was. Please calm down. La woman. What's her name? Tony Tomato, Abi. Tony Tomato. She's
Tony Tomatoes.
Father.
All right, Abdul, please go ahead. Then in your bone.
I don't know their names. Ya Salah, Ya Rainbow, Baba Salah, Papa Jasco. Those are the names I know.
Thank you. Okay, Papa Jasco. In your bone, thank you. Go ahead, in your bone.
Okay, I don't know what Blackberry Babes, but these are the most prominent characters I remember. Dominic, Genevieve, Naji, and Tonto Dike. They're so good in that movie.
Yeah. Tonto Dike.
Yeah.
She's from Rivers State. I remember now that she's from Rivers State, I think. Is she? I think it's from Rivers State. Anyway. Alfred Chibuike.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Alfred.
Are we mentioning people that are still alive, or are we mentioning those who are still here with us and those who are not here with us anymore?
Any of them.
Okay, so I'll have to go with Osofia and Kemowo, Sam Loco Efe, and Aki and Papa. I will just mention the 2 because they are one.
Yeah. Sam Loco is very iconic. Was and is very. Thank you very much, GBK. Precious, you can go ahead and speak. Which old Nollywood actor or character do you think is still iconic?
Okay, so I don't know, I've already answered in the chat, but I'll just repeat what I said. Ibiri Okaro, I don't know if people know her, that Fatuma that is always crying in old Nollywood movies. Like her son will always die, her daughter always die. Like those kind of things, that she's always crying, and like her cry just make me cry. Like if she's crying, I could just they cry. It's really, really touching. Then Regina Daniels was almost always the one that's acting on this possessed child. Like you now go and possess her fellow classmates, give them sweets, you give them biscuits, they'll not start flying in the night. I don't know if you remember that she acted Spider-Woman too. Let's speak.
Okay.
There's this guy, Desmond Elliot. Yes, he's always now Define Prince that will now later marry Mercy Johnson, that they've been maltreating ever since she was a child. Her stepmother has been maltreating her. They can now run away from the house. The prince, Desmond Elliot, will not come and save her.
I have not watched. So these movies I've not watched them. I just know somehow that the plot of one film seems like the other. Do you understand? Similar plots because of that thing I mentioned, that stereotype thing I mentioned. But thank you very much. Just Brown, let's hear from you. Oh, Ini Brown has spoken already. Okay. Ebube Johnson. Ebube says not available now. Etini, I think she has spoken. Yeah. Jessica, let's hear from you.
I like how and then local. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Jessica. I like some local too. Anyway, Mary Cynthia.
Okay. I think Uche is quite iconic for me. And then I was going to say Kemowo too, but a lot of people have already said in Kemowo. So I'm going to go with this other woman. I haven't forgotten her name. Is it I don't know. I think that woman is really underrated. Like she is so good at what she does. And then Ramsey Noah too, rare. Ramsey Noah. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I don't know if it's just me, but I'm not sure I saw Nse movies, old Nollywood. I saw Nse mostly in new Nollywood films, but that might just be me. I don't know. Someone else probably might have seen her. After Mary is okay. I've heard from Mesma. Promise, go ahead and speak. After Promise, Tony.
I'll say Tony Umez. Then,
Darling.
then I think Mercy Johnson was amazing too, and Genevieve Naji.
Genevieve Naji. Thank you very much, Promise. Tony, you can go ahead and speak.
Nabas, my mom. Good evening and happy new year.
Nice to hear from you.
Happy new year, everyone.
Happy new year.
So the ones I can remember, Clems were amazing.
Yeah, Clems were amazing.
What's her name again? Mercy Johnson.
Yeah.
Amechi Monaco. Yeah, I think Amechi's late. So I think that's it. You said 3 now.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. So I'll proceed to the next question. Give me a minute. Okay, so here's the next question. Does the article's celebration of Nollywood's good old days rely more on nostalgia than on objective evaluation of the industry's actual quality? Promise you can go ahead and speak. Thank you.
I just want to say, who cares about the actual quality of the movie? I don't think I do. I don't think when I reminisce over old Nollywood that I care how they acted or how the video quality was or the performance of the actors. I think I enjoyed growing up with these stories, and I felt like it was relatable to all Nigerians, and they shaped our world. So yes, it was based on nostalgia. I agree that it was, and I enjoyed it for being based on nostalgia. So I really do not care.
Yes, I do think the piece was really reliant on nostalgia, which I even think was the entire point of the article, blog post, something. But like what Promise said, it feels like she's talking about like technical, objective goodness. Like she mentioned camera quality and so on and so on. But I think the quality of the movies themselves were detrimental to the industry itself, because look at today, we all have, I don't know if we all do, but a large majority of Nigerians have terrible impressions of Nigerian movies, despite us having these nostalgic feelings about the past. So I don't know. Yeah, the article definitely was nostalgic, but I don't think that nostalgia was worth the decline in the industry.
Thank you, Abdul. Inibran, you raised the hand. Go ahead and speak.
Okay. Full disclosure, I was the one that asked that question, and it was for the exact reason that Abdul raised up. I feel as though, with all that nostalgia, we overlook the detrimental aspects that Nollywood has had, where we have a very predictable storyline the moment we just enter. Back then, it used to be very bad, to the extent that the soundtrack would tell you exactly what's going to happen in the next 3 scenes. Be like Atlanta, she was a very good girl. She was daddy's girl. Now she's into sugar. They'll literally, everything that's about to happen in the next 4 scenes, they'll tell you in the soundtrack. And so I feel like these things have had a very detrimental effect, to the point that right now, new Nollywood, you go on YouTube, every actor has his own channel for some strange reason, which is Jumbo TV. Everybody has their own TV on YouTube. I don't know how we're doing that, but fine. But it's still, even with the new storylines of urban life and all that, it's still very predictable. It's still very annoying. Meanwhile, there's so much stories we could be telling. We have such rich culture. Why isn't there an awesome Shango movie? Why isn't there? We have Thor. Why don't we have Shango? Why isn't there Shango 1, Shango 2? That's enough storyline. We have enough myths to build up an entire MCU character base. And we don't do that. There's so much we can explore. And instead, we recycle the same old storylines over and over and over again. And it's sad. It's sad. It's just sad. There's so much the second biggest movie making industry in the world could be doing, and we're not doing it. We're just playing these same games over and over.
Thank you very much. I think for the same reason you don't like, it's the same reason I don't like when actors are being stereotyped. Because I can watch and feel like this guy can do so much more, but yet you keep giving him this role, and it's very annoying. And some of them pride themselves in it, like, oh, what do you do? Like, I'm funny. Like, did you get like the fact where someone said when she sees Dokun Lagos in a film, she just know, oh, he's going to be a gate man or he's going to be funny. That's cool, but in a way, I feel like these guys can be so much more. But they've so carved out themselves that if the movie does not have a comedic theme, they can't act the film. They can't even major in any role. Do you get? So Uzoma? Yes, let me hear from Uzoma, again, Jennifer and Mary.
Okay, many people have said things that I wanted to say. They did quantity over quality. Now we are saying, okay, these things are nostalgic. The same way you remember that one time you and your brother shared one ice cream, even though the ice cream was tasteless, but you guys shared it. You just remember that moment and it's beautiful for you. But if you want to sit down and watch some of those movies, you find out that it's rubbish. You were a child watching something like that. You cannot compare it to now. The quality of the movies were not very, very good. And although I understand the essence of the article was nostalgia, just remember your child, remember those movies, but it did not really tell a lot. I've forgotten my thought process. I wanted to say so much more, but yes, another thing was that I wanted to say this at the beginning. There was one question you asked. I wanted to say that their storytelling was one way. They thought they know what we are supposed to hear, but many, not for movies like movies like Fumilara, some Kuti, I think they are doing better with this storytelling of culture now compared to before. But I'm learning more about cultures from films, but it was not really like that the past, like when we were younger. I can count my 10 fingers how many good films that you sit down and watch and you feel like, yes, this is a very, very good film. I learned more about history. I gained experience and I feel good after watching this movie. All those crap. It's just let me just watch it for what you say. Not really that good. So
Jennifer, go ahead and speak after Jennifer, promise.
Okay. So what I think about the old Nollywood, and from what everyone has been reviewing since, I think we may be forgetting the times when it came up, and we are forgetting to extend some grace. If you compare very old, like the OG Nollywood movies, to other movies of its times, you realize it wasn't as bad as we think. Have you ever sat down to just bring back like old Hollywood movies and try to rewatch them? Have you ever tried to rewatch Power Rangers? You'd be wondering, how did I even find this interesting? So I feel like the problem with Nollywood isn't even the OG Nollywood. It was the gap or the bridge between the OG Nollywood and present Nollywood. OG Nollywood, to me, it did what it came to do. It was new. They came with drama. They were just trying to act. They were trying to do something and just portray Nigeria. It was not about emotions and less about technicality. It was about emotions, and they gave us emotions. They gave us. If you were watching a comedy movie from OG Nollywood, there's no how you won't laugh. It was dramatic. You will feel it. You will feel the drama. If it was horror, you will be scared. They gave us what they meant. They were supposed to give us. So I feel like that is not really the problem. The problem was the transition from OG Nollywood to present Nollywood. We became lazy. We became lazy as creatives. They decided to just recycle old Nollywood movies. They didn't even check, this thing's even accurate. They're just recycling it. And that's why we just kept on having the same thing over and over. But people were growing. The world was growing. We knew better as consumers. So we hated Nollywood at that middle stage. And then currently now, it seems like they're beginning to wake up. Like, okay, the world has left us. Let's try. And that's why when we see good Nollywood movies now, it's like, this is really nice. When we see things like How to Kill a Monkey, King of Boys, like, this is Nollywood. Wow, this is really nice and it's impressive. And I was surprised because it seems like we're finally catching up. So I just feel like let's kind of extend some grace. OG Nollywood for me was not my problem.
just sit down and try and re-download Akanpopo movies and watch it again. You realize that it would still give you something. It was not necessarily about whether it made sense. It was just how it made you feel. And I feel like that's not what our problem was. It was the middle ground.
Thank you very much, Jennifer. That was very insightful. So let's go over to the next question since everyone has said their minds.
Sorry, Nabas, I'm here. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. So I was going to say that I don't know whether it's just me, but I feel like there's just been like a decline in like I don't like the quality of movies, whether foreign movies. I know we are talking about Nollywood, but even Hollywood. Personally, I feel like there has been some sort of decline in content and quality. Maybe in Hollywood they have more advanced technology and all of that, but I feel like even with the advancements in the technology and all of that, the content they're bringing out, like I prefer to watch old Hollywood movies to as a lot of new Hollywood movies that just like tones down water and there's really nothing there again compared to what was there in the past. So when you bring it here, I know, just like the last person that spoke said, all Dollywood movies was just basically for entertainment. I don't even think they're trying to. They were just trying to entertain us, like crazy whole emotional this and all of that. But now, yeah, a lot of them are actually, apart from the whole new wave of YouTube, everybody's having their own YouTube channels, doing their own movies. There's been like they're doing more. Actually, they're actually trying in a way, because I heard recently that there is like a Nollywood zombie movie. Like I'm actually looking forward to see. So I feel like actually we can give them some grace, like the last person said, that they are actually trying to do something different. They're actually putting in more intention, because recently there have been really, really good movies. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. So the last question now. Who experienced something fitting for a Nollywood drama in their university? Can they share? And I think this is from the part where she mentioned something about how Nollywood portrayed university life and girls in university. So someone was asking if there was anyone who has experienced that kind of lifestyle in the university currently, where girls wear high heels and shades to class, etc., etc. They're always clashing with them. So let's hear from you. Precious, go ahead and speak.
University life was overrated. They made it look like as if, we're going to chill if you go to university, like we're going to meet the big boys, chill with the big boys and bam, all those kind of things. You go to university, you go suffer, you go see shege, lecturers go show you shege. But you know that Nollywood standard, they're like, do you think you can graduate from this university without sucking my cock? They know for university. They didn't ever exaggerate that one. It happened. So that's what I have to say.
Okay, I'm a guy, so I don't think this kind of thing happens. I'm from my end though, but ladies, probably you guys experience something like that. Promise, go ahead and speak.
There was every day I was walking down the road, that Odim Road in UNN, and I had my books in my hand. And I remember that old Nollywood movies, they don't carry bags. They always have like their books in their hands and they're walking around. And I just felt like that nostalgia in that moment that, yeah, this is university life. And then, so I don't think they represented university life well. I think the only part they did well was showing that lecturers, would sort of want sexual relationships with their students, which was not right. I think that's the part that they did well. But all of those high heels and wearing short skirts with singlets, they didn't do well. But I remember that moment of carrying my books in my hand, and I felt like, okay, they did this part well. So it was not very realistic, but there are a few things we can look towards.
Thank you very much. As you mentioned the dim, I just felt a bit nostalgic, considering that I just left there like 2 or 3 months ago. Thank you very much. Promise. Uzoma, go ahead and speak.
Okay. Some things I remember one time sitting outside the hostel, and one girl was on the phone and she was like, it's old man. Me, I cannot do old man. And I was like, blood of Jesus. And I went to tell my friend that, like that thing that we have been hearing, people are really sleeping around in this school. And there was one time when we finished exam early, I was in Bello, I was downstairs, and there were this because whenever they're doing party, they will not lock the hostel. So there was this group of girls that came outside from this car. They were drunk and they were walking with their high heels up. I was like, oh, God, I'm big. I'm ready to invest. Oh, God, protect me. And that thing about, I think I saw this one as a meme. Before I came to invest, I think say now only Ashawo and the old boys, they get carry on. AD 50 on you, get 52, you'll be like, Jesus. And yes, that's just it, Sha.
This part you said about you thinking that it's only Ashawo and your boys that used to have carryover. Okay, someone said, Enable, you want to say something? Go ahead and speak. Your hand is raised. After that, we'll take the last question.
Okay, so I think it depends. This Nollywood depiction of university depends on the department, because in my department, nada. Everybody is on corporate cover shoes, black cover shoes, brown cover shoes. Your hair is packed. All we do is attend class, write test, enter practical. So it depends on the department. So I only heard stories from other departments, or when I was in hostel, you see girls going out in the night, and I always feel I felt like I was missing out, because of my department, because there's no time to do all those type of things when you're trying to get to class before your lecturer. Like today now, we had 7 a.m. 7 a.m. lectures, and this man had the guts to lock the gates 7 on the dot. I entered 6:59. God, we don't have time. So it depends on the department. Some departments are lucky, but if you're medically inclined, just books until you finish. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think it's relative. The experience is relative. The only problem is that Nollywood portrayed it as though that was the only life on campus, and that's how our parents too also thought that that's the only life on campus. And they're always like, don't drink up, don't do this, etc. But thank God for those times. Last question. Okay, someone said, I would like us to talk about why there's no soul in today's Nollywood. Well, I have something to say, but I won't say it. I'll just hear from others. I would like us to talk about why there's no soul in today's Nollywood. All right, promise, go ahead and speak then, Jennifer.
Okay, so I think what we refer to as a soul is something that we can relate to. So when we listen to good music, we say, oh, this song is soulful. New Nollywood is sometimes not very in touch with our current realities, which is something that old Nollywood did quite well. I've heard a lot of arguments about how old Nollywood was portrayed poorly, their stereotypes and the poor quality of the movies. But one thing they did well was know their audience. They knew what their audience wanted. They knew the current realities of Nigerians, and so they played in line with those realities, and they embodied those characters, which is something I said they were very authentic about it. New Nollywood, on the other hand, they play more fantasies. Yes, there are a lot of good movies that have come out, like The Herd, Aniko Lapo. I don't think I pronounced that well. Anyway, then To Kill a Monkey, they've done quite well. But I don't think we can relate to those movies per se. We like the story, we like that it's different, we like that with them. But for an everyday Nigerian who goes out to struggle and needs a comfort of something that looks like something that their life looks like, it's not very relatable. So a recent movie I watched, and it's just what's the name of this movie? What's her name? This lady that is very beautiful. She acted it with her husband who can't speak good English, and she can. And then they moved into an estate. Someone who can help me with the name. And it was just all about rich people. And I'm not rich, so I would feel like the story is not soulful. But they did their best. So I think that it's because we can't relate to the realities, and so we feel like it's not soulful enough. So when we feel like, oh, they're acting, oh, this is not how Nigerians are. Who has the money to do all of this? Who is going to buy their mother-in-law a whole house just for a girl that has not even agreed to you? You're buying a whole building and something. It's not what we will do. It's not what we will do realistically. that's how I feel.
Yes, thank you so much, Promise. That was rich. That was insightful. Thank you. If I can speak after that, Abdul.
So, about Nigerian movies all being so cool. Basically, some of what I'm trying to say is, I also think we should realize that it takes a lot of money to make a movie. So if you check people that have TVs, this person's TV, that person's TV, it's once in a while you see like a movie that hits, or like when they gather movies, maybe at the end of the year or middle of the year or beginning of the year, and they release a very nice movie and everybody can appreciate it. But a lot of times to keep up the industry, to maintain their actors and their lifestyle and everything, they have to constantly release movies. So we have a lot of movies that are coming out and it's just very very mid movies, and then we have once in a while movies that hit and they call them soulful. So personally, I don't think it's like a thing unique to Nigerian movies. I think everyone, even Hollywood, has it everywhere. If we had access to every single Hollywood movie that was being released, we realize that there are many of them that are very shitty. The few ones that are able to cross borders and they make waves even in another continent are the ones we enjoy, and everything that Hollywood movies are always hitting. But ideally, I think it's something that's common to Bollywood, Nollywood, everywhere. Every now and then they release like 100 mid towards shitty movies, and then every once in a while you have that one or two movies that actually really make sense and it crosses borders and everyone hears about it.
The only 3 Bollywood movies I know, 3 Idiots, 2 actually, 3 Idiots and like Stars on Earth. Yeah, that's the only 2 I know. In my mind, all Bollywood movies are the same, but just those 2 that stood out for me. All right, let's hear from you, Abdul. After Abdul, Inyebon.
First of all, Nabas, what? That's like blasphemy. I hate love stories, Chennai Express, Krishna. Come on, no. Anyway, I'm not defending Bollywood movies here. Can you hear me though?
I say you recommend them for me later. It's only 2 that I've really enjoyed so far.
Anyway, so the question is about the soul of old Nollywood and new Nollywood. This question also plagued me considerably because one, we've lost something. Yes, we have lost something because old Nollywood was daring. Let me put it that way. It was daring. They did not care to make things. I don't really know how to say this right, but they were trying things, even though they know they didn't have the technology to do it. Like, why is someone breathing fire from their mouth over to burn somebody? That kind of energy. They were not working within the constraints of their technology. Like, they wanted to be fantastic. They wanted to be spectacular. Sort of, that kind of thing where you see them, you'll shoot a gun, and then they'll spend so much money to make this CGI about, like, that bullet. You follow the bullet. Although it's terrible CGI, but, like, they'll still try to put the energy, like they want to show you that bullet that is going to go and kill the person, and then when they kill the person, like there's this energy of exuberance. They want to do something that they know they cannot do, something like that. So in a way, I think that to me encapsulates the soul of old Nollywood. They did not have the means or the money to really do it how like Nollywood or Hollywood is doing it, but they still tried, even though it's like the results were often disastrous, right? We all can agree that it looks funny, it looks ridiculous, and yes. So, but now the problem is that what old Nollywood did not have, new Hollywood has now. Like they sort of have the technical proficiency to do fancy effects, even to use guns and bullets to scatter holes in buildings. Those kind of things. Robberies are going on in old Nollywood, and then they are shooting. Nothing is breaking. It's just very funny. But new Nollywood has that ability. They have the money to do it, so they do it. But then it is exposing the other problem in Nollywood movies in general, which is the story itself. Like I'm sorry guys, I think I'm talking way too much, but sorry. If you watch like stage plays in your university, I believe you would agree with me that the stories they are showing on those stage plays are of a better quality than what you are seeing on TV. I don't know why that is, but it's something I've noticed always. Like the movies we are seeing, like if your school theater is making a play, there is much more. The stories make more sense than the stories that you see on a movie in Nollywood. So the fundamental thing is, old Nollywood had story problems, yes, but they also had this energy that they were bringing to, like, they want to succeed, they want to do the undoable. It's like kind of somebody's trying to reach for the stars and they're landing consistently, like on the football pitch or something. While New Nollywood has, I don't see their excuse again. The cameras are so good. The actors, and now the actors these days, they are very, very good. They're phenomenal actors. But like the core of the movie starts from the script, right? The screenplay is just shit. The story is lackluster. So there's no really amount of visual effect or whatever you want to do that will replace it, which is, as Jennifer said, why also Hollywood, a lot of Hollywood movies are also just made. I don't like using the word made, but like that's the truth. It's just there's no spectacle to it. But like, yeah, I think I have. Anyway, that's all.
Thank you. You covered a lot of things and brushed a lot of subject as well. Thank you so much. Lastly, let's hear from Inyebo and we'll call it a night.
Okay, so I don't know the like process of how these directors choose their actors, but I feel as if these new Nollywood movies have more of influencers and comedians than actors. Yeah. To me, I don't see any raw talents. I can, in these new Nollywood movies, I can only see like all these old actors coming back to show their face, and then more of influencers and comedians. So I think that just took the magic out of New Hollywood. Yeah. And then I also wanted to talk about the script writing. The script writing is terrible. And it's only showing that one bridge in Lagos. I don't know the bridge. But that one bridge in Lagos. And the fact that all these Nollywood movies, these new ones that are on YouTube, not everyone has access to YouTube, but everybody has access to a television, at least. The movies that are on the TV are very terrible, let me not lie. Aside from the big movies that they play on YouTube that we hear about that are good, the ones that actually, that most of the audience can, access are not really good. So yeah, I think that's why there's no soul in New Nollywood. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I feel like this particular topic is something we can discuss extensively, like more and more. When we stretch it out to ask, there should be a lot to cover. Because some of the questions that were sent, like I said, they were a bit similar. They had similar themes, so I had to merge them. But some of those questions also had distinct topics we could discuss. Anyway, we still have Sunday. We can also we'll continue the conversation on Sunday in the chat group. But thank you all so much for these nights. I really, really appreciate it. And thank you to everyone that contributed. I mean, the house was full today and I had to just quickly run through the questions. I really appreciate it. Thank you for making the effort. Thank you for reading. And thank you too for the questions you sent in. At some point I thought nobody was going to send the questions. Then I saw the questions coming in. I really do appreciate it. And I've missed you guys too. Terribly, I've missed you guys. So I can't wait for the next Thursday. We'll have a live call like this. And this is the first of the year, so it's just me starting the year. Next week, someone else is going to review and so on and so forth. Thank you all so much. Do have a wonderful night's rest.
Don't forget to hit the follow button and tap on the notification icon to stay updated. That's all for today's episode. To join our book club or stay updated on future discussions, follow us on Instagram and X at Jollof Book Club, Jollof with a double F. And thank you so much for listening.